But on that note, welcome back to Mythspeaker, everyone. Been a little bit since we played, but the holidays are now over, and we are back consistently looking forward to going into 2026 and having a grand old time, getting things on track with the happenings here in Iblydos. So, what happened in our last session? Couple things, nothing too major. That's a lie. Couple major things happened. Starting, of course, first and foremost with you all managing to undo the magic spell of the ancient nades and awakening Melusine, the bard and lover of the hero god Sophrista. You had a bit of conversation with her about what her time alive was like, what you all are doing here and what your plans are, and invited her to stick with you for a time, as you were planning to continue investigating the island, head to Sophrasta's shrine, and deal with the undead there, and maybe hopefully come across the ghost of the hero god Sophrasta and help put her to rest. Upon returning to camp for the evening, though, you pretty quickly learned that some strangeness was afoot, I suppose, as the different exploration teams seemed to be on edge. Tensions were running high between each other. You learned that there had been some arguments earlier in the afternoon over some of the relics that had been found, and just general kind of petty squabbles that seemed to escalate far beyond what they called for. And putting some of the pieces together, you began to suspect that perhaps this falling star, whose embers enraged the spirits at the send-off last week, might be having some adverse effect on the aggression of creatures. The birds upon your arrival, maybe even the sea serpent on your journey over here, the crabs in the abandoned village, the goats that stormed through the Nade's grotto. A lot of generally peaceful creatures acting far more rashly and with more agitation than they normally would, led you to believe that something was definitely up with this fallen star, pushing you to put dealing with the ghost on the back burner, or not the ghost, the undead priest on the back burner, and coming to deal with the hippogriffs and check out the landing site of this star before all else. Keeping what you learned to yourselves, not sharing it with any of the others who may or may not have been affected to varying degrees. And fighting the hippogriffs as you entered their territory. I really desperately want to say harrowing battle, but it really wasn't that bad, all things considered. You guys did great. I'm very proud of you. Very easily killing the two hippogriffs, empowered by the mythic energies of the land, and even during the fight, absorbing some of the mythic power into yourself, causing those of you who did to begin to feel almost kind of a new space in your body, a spot between your organs, empty on its own, that you wouldn't normally feel, begin to crack and break apart, leaving an emptiness that was then filled up, albeit briefly, by the stolen mythic power used to weaken these hippogriffs. Fight came to an end. Them dead, you began to do some investigations of the crater, began butchering the hippogriffs for their leather, meat, and claws, and began exploring the environment generally, finding a few clues, nothing concrete, before the hero god's ghost of Sephresta appeared before you, demanding you introduce yourself, maybe even grumbling under her breath, saying things none of you really caught. But with Marisine at your side, what could have been a potentially hostile meeting became peaceful very quickly. The two shared a tearful reunion, and you had some conversation with the ghost of Sephresta, with her informing you that yes, a shard of some strange material fell from the sky, exuding this aura of aggression and rage, something that even she as a ghost was overtaken by, but was able to fight off the impulses she felt. Shortly after it fell, according to her, a Stheno man visited this crater, retrieved it, and then departed. She did not approach or get a good glimpse as of the individual, as she felt a strong presence, as she described it, around him, and didn't show herself, as she was wary of whatever his intentions were. That pretty much brings us to where we are now. It is sort of early mid-afternoon approaching at this point. We had a bit of conversation with Sephresta, and I believe we ended off with the conversation taking a turn to helping Sephresta find her final rest once more. Something that Marisine had the kind of idea that maybe you could, like, help her reenact her final battle, but do it in such a way, sort of a dramatic performance that ends with her triumph, that might give her the catharsis she needs for her spirit to move on, as she theorizes that Sephresta's indignity at her own death and the circumstances surrounding it are what have kept her spirit locked to this land. Of course, if you guys have any other ideas, any other things you would like to try and do, you are certainly welcome to do so.
Ton being an outsider, he's just going to go along with the idea of reenacting Sephresta's final battle and having her win this time. He volunteers to be the representation of the other hero gods so his companions don't get the shit kicked out of them as the spirit of a hero god. But Jericho, Ton would ask Sephresta when she said that the um, Estheno man who came to claim the meteorite had this presence about him.
Mhm.
He would ask if there was any more detail she could give about that presence itself.
Unfortunately, no. I am not, again, wholly present at any given time, and my eye for detail has long since left me. It was, I suppose, the best way I could describe it similarly, in no means exactly, but the beasts you just recently fought, they exuded that red mist almost as if their blood was boiling off of their body, yes?
Yes.
That is the sort of representation I saw around this man. A cloud of some sort seemingly surrounding him. Not understood particularly well, but the energy it contained was off-putting, I suppose. But I unfortunately cannot describe it in any more detail than that.
Jericho, how do you spell Esteno again? I know it's some weird spelling.
Stheno.
Okay, yeah, because I have it Esteno.
Nope. It's just S the no.
Okay. We're gonna learn so many Greek words in this adventure path.
Don't worry, it's only going downhill from here.
Yeah.
Anything else we would like to talk about? Anything we would like to do or try?
Uh, I mean, there are things that I would like to try, but as my character, no.
And we appreciate that. I have no fucking clue what you would want to try, and it scares me.
Did we already bring up the reenactment to Sephrista and she seemed open to the idea?
Yeah, she
Okay.
she seemed generally willing to try it. Absolutely. And this would not be like an actual fight between you and the ghost, but again, it'd be like putting on a play. So, like, Ton could absolutely fake the fighting if the rest of you didn't wish to do any particular combat faking. You could always, like, monologue, craft lines fitting her history, or even just, like, help sort of direct the performance overall. There's a lot of different ways you could go about helping to put this on than needing to directly be an actor if you wish to. No one has theater lore, do they?
No.
All you people take an ancient beast lore and not theater lore.
I mean, hey, fair enough, because this is the ancient Greece campaign, and theater was a big thing in ancient Greece.
No one
So
took
fair
drama
enough.
lore, and that's a tragedy.
No one's playing a bard. A bard was one of my character ideas.
And if you're watching this campaign, you can fix that by joining this campaign now at the link below. Please don't.
Wow.
Jericho, if you get someone who joins this because they saw the video, I'm gonna laugh so goddamn hard.
That's choice for sure.
We have no one. Oh, we do have a performance trained person.
we do. They're just not here at the moment.
It's a big minotaur.
Oh no, it's Arias.
I'm trained in performance. I'm actually pretty good at it.
Look at that. The charisma character has a good performance. We're so proud of you.
Did we decide, like, when I accepted Gatreon, did I actually break his link to the house?
Yes and no.
Or he goes back there when he's not in.
When he's not
rotation.
in rotation, he just kind of hovers around you. You were able to briefly act as a vessel to allow him to leave. That would have sent him back afterwards, though. It was after actually going through the actions that would have allowed his soul to fully pass on that allowed him to dwell more permanently with you.
Okay.
Now he's just napping sometimes, and other times he's annoying you in your ear.
Yep.
So
that's an option too, I guess.
Yeah, you imagine that would be something similar you could attempt. You could briefly allow her to leave the island, but if you manage to successfully put her spirit to rest, you could also allow at least a part of it to dwell with you.
Okay.
At the end of this.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna crack a joke.
I was just gonna ask, so Fresta, I guess if there's anything else, I mean, before we try this reenactment, do you know, will the island, change in any way? If it does help you pass on, is there anything else we should be aware of?
Well,
Or you're just, happy to,
I
finally be able to move on?
I am bound to the island, but the island is not bound to me. Before I died, I was merely an inhabitant. This was my home, for sure, my place of worship, but me passing on would not have any adverse effects. The land has been here long before I arrived, and evidently long after I passed as well. So, what would we like to do? Do we have anything else we'd like to do? Do we want to put on this reenactment?
Say we put on the reenactment.
I guess we could try it. Yeah.
Okay.
Now what was the myth again? It was that Frescorus challenged her.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Frescorus and Sophrasta were kind of rivals for an extended period of time. At least Frescorus was one of Sophrasta's rivals, but recognized he could not defeat her in a fair fight, and thus took advantage of her mortal weakness that he was aware of, and arrowhead stuck in her body from before she gained her mythic empowerment.
Well, wasn't the whole thing, wasn't the dishonorable part was that he learned of it through treachery?
Yeah, he convinced her high priest to tell him. And so, like, if he had found it normally in conflict, like, while they were fighting, that would have not been anything wrong. And for his ideals, there wasn't anything wrong with him going after it in combat since he knew of it. But the overall act of him learning about it in advance through the effectively bribing her high priest, that is what pissed her off to no end and caused her. She could have accepted a loss. A loss due to treachery was what caused her to remain.
All right.
So if
Well,
she just doesn't
let's-
lose, what can go wrong?
Ton will ask her, so what type of armaments should I be using for this, or is my own Hefsis Tetsubo, or is my own enough?
This is a mock combat, so to speak, and reenactments are never perfect. Even back in my day, the performances we put on of times long past had incorrect details due to the passage of time, so I imagine using your own weapon should be fine. After all, it's not like you look like Frescorus, so we'd already be screwed if you needed to.
Ton looks at her, and then you all see him do that extremely uncomfortable thing where his form like shimmers, then it just and he turns into his human form. I mean, I know I may not look exactly like him, but I could give it my best shot.
By all means.
Forgot you could do that.
Ew, normal human.
When looking human is the freaky part.
All right.
I can do that as well. Just kidding. No, I can't.
Oh wow.
That's a very large human there. As you guys take on your positions to put on this mock performance, of course, you do not have to do the same thing continuously. But we will say, for reference, this play, we'll give it about 4 rounds here, so to speak, in nebulous time. Not every round here will be just 6 seconds. It might be a minute or so, depending on how you're narrating and describing what's going on. But for mechanical purposes, we'll put this under a victory point system with 4 rounds to try and successfully pacify her spirit here.
Okay.
So, as the performance begins, you will take up position, some of you hefting weapons, some of you preparing other methodologies of assisting, and Maricine stands to the side and pulls out her lyre so that she can provide some musical accompaniment. I won't force us to roll initiative here. It'll simply be if you have ideas for what you would like to do, ways you would like to narrate what you are doing. Each person can attempt one thing per round here for this performance.
Okay. Were there mock duels during the games, Jericho, that we might have observed?
Not particularly. Most of the mock duels that would have happened kind of all got wrapped up into the grand melee. They're like, instead of having a bunch of mock duels, we're just going to have the big tournament clash. Saves everyone some
Okay.
time and allows for more diversity.
So in Iblydos, is it more of the combatants like enter wherever the duel is going to take place, then at a given signal, have at it?
Sure.
Okay. To the best of Ton's understanding.
Why not?
Okay. Because in Tian Sha, it's a little different. You go into the ring, but there's no signal. It's whoever cracks first and charges.
I mean, that can be how it's done here. You're doing a dramatic reenactment of a hero god's final battle.
Okay.
Doesn't necessarily
So-
have to follow, like, how duels in the city work.
Okay. So, once Ton and Sophrasta square up, and as soon
can
as
be
the
like-
liar
So Freysta's followers or something. I don't know. Or wait, oh no, this might not even be a good idea. I was gonna say one of us can be Frescores, but like he didn't betray her.
Ooh, high
Yeah.
risk, high reward.
That might just be insulting. We'll just be Sophrista followers. I'll act out a loyal Sophrista fan who's witnessing this duel.
The phrase to fan number 1 is how you show up in the credits of this performance.
Yes.
Nice.
And what was the name of the other hero god again?
Frescoris.
I don't have it written down. Frescoris. Okay. Frescoris. Okay. As soon as the lyre begins to play on hefts the Tetsubo and charges at Sophrasta, giving, because he's coming in swinging, wide, powerful swing right at. I'm assuming she wields a shield.
She has a gladius and a shield, yeah.
Yeah, he's aiming to just knock the shield out of her hand.
Go
with
ahead
the Tetsubo.
and give me an athletics check, we'll say, for this.
Okay.
And because you guys have Maricine, we'll say she is able to aid one person each round. So whoever would like an aid this round.
Ton will go it alone this round.
Ton's gonna roll it. All right.
15.
You should have taken the aid, bud. DC 16.
All right. Well, I'm going to re-roll. I've got hero points. What are they there for?
First hero point usage. Let's go.
Really?
Nice.
That is perfect.
Nice. All right. Han, you charge in first, swinging your Tetsubo in this sort of wide arc, trying to absolutely just bash the shield on her arm in. Of course, she is a ghost. There will be no physical contact with this, but it's all about the performance. At the sort of last heartbeat, Sophroista pivots aside, your Tetsubo screaming past her helm, and she immediately counters with a gladius thrust towards your shoulder, with a slight look of disappointment. You hear her almost mutter under her breath, "Too easy."
Oh, too easy, huh? Oh, I have a solution for that.
Well, before we get to your solution, what are other people doing during this round? How are you assisting this performance?
Maybe
I
a
mean-
religion check to chant like her. Your son could have taught me her hymns or something. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. If you want to try and focus on sort of her religious dogma and add that in as some narration and background, Marisine would probably quickly, at the drop of a pin, pivot the music she is playing on her lyre to one of the many songs in Glory to Sophroista, as she sings alongside you.
Okay.
I will just act like I'm a follower and bystander for this fight and be surprised and fearful when when Ton swings at her.
Okay. I think that probably a good performance action to
Yes.
really sell the audience participation member.
Audience of one.
uh,
Well, no, I guess there's 3 of us.
which of you two, if either, would like to take an aid from Marisine?
I feel like Scophos is more important or more helpful for the
Yeah, narratively makes sense.
ritual of it.
Sure. She has a +7 modifier with an 8 on the die. That's a 15. You get a +1, Scophos.
Okay.
21 from Uraeus. Quite good, quite good. Yes, indeed.
So Freysta, look out.
And a 25 from Scophos, also a phenomenal success. We're saying our generally set DC for this performance is going to be 16 on things. Maybe down to around 14 if we've got a good reason for a lore skill to be used. But although the performance and the first swing by Ton, perhaps a bit surprised by how easily the ghost of the hero god, fallen as they are, reacts to it and strikes back, the learned hymns from Scophos and Reyes putting all of her acting chops to good use, selling the surprise of Sophroista's followers at this surprise attack being launched at the goddess they worship, is definitely giving the feeling of a grand performance beginning to build up. If only our actor can help sell it better this time.
Yeah.
You got this.
So, as we move into round 2 here, what do people want to do?
Same thing for me, and I will take that aid this time.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get determinations for what everyone is doing before any rolls get made.
Okay.
Can I use performance again, but instead of like being surprised at the fight, can I just kind of like cheer for her?
Yeah, absolutely.
If I should try to use a different skill, that's fine. But
No, nothing wrong with you guys using the same skills for this, and it is as much as you wish to describe exactly what it is you are doing to help the performance. This is far more narrative than direct mechanical differentiations. So you guys are welcome to go as far or as little with this as you would like.
then yeah, and I'll just cheer for her to retaliate against Ton's attack, and yeah.
Yeah, I'll just stick with religion, I think.
Okay. You just keep the music and the performance going on, and Ton swinging the Tetsubo again.
Yeah, this time, instead of going for her shield, he's going to like bring it up in like a corkscrew arc and try to thrust it directly into her chest plate in like a spear-like motion.
Okay.
All right. Let's see if I can do it. Does the
Let me give you
aid
your aid
succeed?
roll. Unfortunately, with a 5 + 7, that is a failure this time. No aid from
Okay.
Marasine this round.
Nice. Oh shit.
But it seems to be unnecessary. Some damn good rolls all around. That is 2 crit successes and a regular success. That is to a total of 7 victory points, I believe. Reyes and Scoffos, you two continuing. Scoffos sort of pivoting into this time not just a general sort of prayer hymn, but more of a retelling of Sophrista fighting and defeating the Chimera of Iblydos on her own, what awarded her her mythic powers and led to her legend as the ruler of beasts here in Iblydos. Araya standing to the side, taking on not just the role of one, but of all of Sophrasta's followers, all of those who followed her that would have been on the island of Euphrae at the time of her falling, emboldening her not with the groans and looks of terrors of citizens watching the one they worship be beaten back and fall, but with the cheers of ones who are confident in the success of the one they venerate, lifting them up with your cheer. On. The fight continues. You and Sophrasta clashing back and forth. Marasine in the back, turning from direct music with her harp to plucking on it and creating sounds like steel ringing and wood and blade clashing. Unfortunately, a little bit twangy. It's a little bit jarring going from the music to trying to simulate the sounds of combat, and it might take some people out of it, but the gusto with which you put on this performance and throw your all into this mock fight is more than enough to make up for it, as you eventually sort of drive Sophrasta backwards with your Tetsubo across the open field here. And as you bring your Tetsubo up in that corkscrew, slam it forward in a spear-like manner, she lifts her shield right in front, and being a ghost does come with its advantages. It allows her to do some things that you might not normally be able to do, simulates your Tetsubo slamming into it at the arm with such a heavy blow that it splits the shield in half and sends ethereal splinters flying into the crowd. She casts the ruined shield aside and grins at you as we move into the third round. Now that's more like it. Yes, more!
Yes. Okay.
third round. We are halfway
Well,
through this performance.
okay.
We got this time.
I mean, I know I took on the role of her adversary, so athletics is just going to be the best for what he's doing. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that would be um good in this instance. Nope, not really. So I'm just going to stick with athletics, and this time, now that her shield has disappeared, have you guys ever seen someone take like a thick stick and whack someone right on their wrist to get them to drop something?
Mm-hmm.
So this time I'm going to aim for her hand holding the gladius, but it's going to be like swing, curve up, and try to smash the gladius out of her hand by cracking her wrist.
Now, just a general reminder, you are supposed to lose this fight. Just reminding you.
There's more.
Okay.
And when I miss, the gladius falls out of my hands. Or I swing so hard and miss that you seen when someone swings a baseball bat?
And they just send it flying.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. What about the
I
rest?
shall stick with religion.
All right.
Can I, seeing Marisine have trouble recreating the sound of the battle, can I try to help her with that?
Sure. Yeah.
Somehow. Instead of what, I don't have an instrument, but I just have like, I have like my axe, and then I also have a dagger that I can kind of like playing them together.
Playing them
for
together to
dramatic
create the
effect.
sounds. Yeah, absolutely. You think that still
And then
falls
when
under
I see-
performance?
It could.
Sure.
Probably. I mean, probably. I don't. Yeah.
Sorry, you.
I was gonna say,
were
well,
continuing.
no, I was considering when I see Ton release his Tetsuba, I was considering trying to like catch it, but I'll probably just not expecting it, so I'll probably just have to duck out of the way.
That might lead to unintentional injury.
Watch where you're throwing that thing.
Watch where you're throwing it.
All right, go for it. Give me those rolls. Who, if anyone, would like an aid from Marisine this round?
I mean, I'm rolling hot on that nat 20, and I know that's probably gonna screw me now that I've said it out loud. Does anybody particularly want it? Because if they don't, I'll take it.
Fine if you have it for me. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Okay.
she'll
Okay,
be.
Jericho.
That's a 3 on the die.
Man, all
Oh my
right.
God.
I need to get a different die, it
sorry.
seems.
All right.
Okay. The fight continues. The music continues in the back. Seeing you, Araya, sort of take on the clashing of blades, Marisine is free to pivot back to working with Scophos on actual music relation to Sophraista. She throws in a few notes of what might have been like a hymn of Frescoris's, but very clearly lets it be drowned out to sort of help with the idea of Sophraista overcoming her rival and adversary. As Tan, you continue swinging the Tetsubo, the two of you trading wounds and blows, all make believe, but with her shield first being broken, the first swing of yours knocks her to the ground, traps her gladius under your boot. But she very quickly rolls out of the way as you slam down where her head was, wrenches the blade free, and drives it into your knee. Which, of course, with great acumen, you act as if you have been accurately stabbed in the knee, and imagine it must be more painful than what you're feeling right now, which is kind of like someone put a little bit of cold water on your knee.
I can give you a real life reenactment of what it does feel like to be stabbed in the knee because that has happened to me. You want to
It's
hear
not. I don't want that.
Okay.
I don't want anyone destroying their microphones or
There wasn't
headphones
a
right
ghost?
now. But as she rolls up, having stabbed you, and you sort of mimic the stumbling back, each of you continue to land blows on one another before you go for that maneuver to knock her gladius free from her hands, bringing it up to slam on her wrist, but she twists out of the way just enough, kicks you in the back of the knee, what might send someone sprawling, but you use that as an opportunity to buckle slightly and let the Tetsubo go flying out of your hands. As the music builds to a climax, you stand straightened before her as we move into the final round of this performance.
All right. So for the finale, with no weapon, Ton's gonna make a last desperate attempt to strike her. But, doing one of these numbers, so leaving his chest open for the perfect strike.
All right. Arias and Scophos, about the two of you.
I think I'll just continue to, well, I guess I'll just continue to cheer her on, but I guess getting more but getting even louder cheers as seeing her adversary lose his weapon. And also some of it seems to be genuine because hearing Marisine and Scophos recount the Chimera story again, Arias is like, "Oh yeah, that's really cool." That's gonna be us with the sea serpent one day.
Nice.
So I'm just gonna continue cheering her on.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna keep.
I
up
almost
with
said. Oh,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, you were going.
I was gonna say I almost said I'm gonna go kick Ton's weapon and insult, but that would be too much.
I think I'm gonna stick with religion, but he's gonna cast a message at the same time and like echo it in the priest's ears.
I love that. You know what? Take a +1 circumstance for that. I like that idea so much. All right. We'll have Marisine aid Arias this time, just because Arias hasn't gone an aid yet. The dice have decreed a success with still a 9 on the die. I'd like to roll a 10 at some point, but we're getting there. So that is a +1 to your roll here, Arias.
Okay.
All right. Good to roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that is a failure, unfortunately.
Oh.
Alrighty.
We got hero points. We do.
Hero point that.
Okay.
Is that a failure, Jericho?
No, a 17 succeeds. DC 16.
Oh, so I got a crit success last time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you guys are killing it.
Yeah, I don't know. I consider not even using a hero point because I feel like we've succeeded a lot, but that's okay.
You have succeeded more than enough. Let's be fair.
Well,
can we crit succeed on the number of successes we have?
She'll be extra at peace.
Well, that's actually a good question. You might have at that point. if Ton had succeeded on his very first roll, you would have crits. You would have not crit succeeded. You would have gotten double the number of points you needed to succeed here that I set.
Wow.
I said it as 8 points needed for success. I figured 8 rounds or 4 rounds for 8 points with a group of 3 seemed relatively fitting. Not terribly hard, but some bad rolls might put you in a rough position, and you guys got 15 total victory points on that.
Yeah.
With all your crit successes. In this final round, Ton, as you jump forward for the almost haymaker punch, sort of expecting Sophrasta to just take the easy stab into your chest, it almost throws you off guard that she doesn't. She welcomes you into that close combat, takes the blow from your fist, and just engages in sort of a flurry of up-close blows with you, striking, watching her blade be parried by your arms, pulling a dagger out with her other hand, and forcing that sort of close combat, final brutal battle where you're both locked up against one another until one of you falls. And that is when eventually she sort of gets that opening, takes the dagger, and plunges it up under your breastplate in the slight opening that's there. Once, pulls it out twice, 3 separate times she stabs in the same place. Of course, it's just like someone poking you with really cold fingers, but you get the idea.
That's bad enough.
Eventually you stumble backwards, gasping for air, mimicking blood pouring from an unhealable wound at this point, as Oreus in the background continues the cheers and praises of glory to Sophrasta, and Scaphos finishes the final sort of hymn of Sophrasta's main legends. This one from when she held back the tide of monsters at Melakai single-handedly, and how she left that day, survived with nary an injury compared to the thousands of monsters felled by her hands alone. As the music finally stops, Sophrasta lowers her sword and her dagger, the haze of battle and the joy of combat sort of fading from her eyes, and with much clearer eyes and an expression on her face that you didn't see even when you first met her, she surveys each of you in turn. Thank you. I feel... You see her form begins to glow slightly, the edges sort of blurring and beginning to fragment. I feel the afterlife calling. I hope that I've earned enough renown to live among the islands. Great. Before she fades away and vanishes. Scaphos, as the last remnants of her spirit vanish, you know in this moment that her soul has moved on to the afterlife, but there are vestiges of her memories remaining, still sort of dissipating. You may attempt to grab onto those if you would like to.
Okay, so I wouldn't actually be interfering with her eternal peace or anything?
No,
like that?
she has fully passed on, but you could potentially take a portion of her memories and experiences to act as a spiritual guide for you.
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead. Give me a... you have spirit lore, correct?
Yep.
Go ahead and roll that. This can be public. Effectively to see how much of her spirit you're getting. And you have not used a hero point yet this session, have you?
Yeah, and I'll use it now.
I don't know why I was saying you had none.
Well,
Okay. Is taking the highest, so 11 total. It's very faded right now. You are grasping fragments of fragments and pulling them into yourself. I would hazard to say it's probably not enough to form an entire spirit connected to you on its own, but perhaps were you to come across fragments like this in the future, or even another soul that would not be complete enough to join you in your journey or become attached to you, this may assist you in some way. As her spirit vanishes, Marasine sort of lowers her harp. You see the lyre. You see the tears welling at the corners of her eyes, seeing that the one she loved finally fully pass on to the afterlife. Can I get a quick perception check from everyone?
Of course.
Okay. I am going to then ask for a fortitude save from everyone. Scophos and Ton may get a +2 circumstance bonus to theirs.
Okay. Let's add.
Okay. Nice. Okay. In the wake of Sophraista's ghost vanishing, Scophos, as you are grabbing onto the sort of remnant spirituality and bringing it into your form effectively, you and Ton sort of look around, and that sort of red miasma that's been emanating around the crater, you notice a almost suspicious amount of it seems to have crept along the ground while you were so focused on this mock performance towards where Sophraista's spirit was, nearly all of it in the area. However, as her soul disappears, it almost coils together and then spreads outwards in a detonating wave, slamming into all of you. The two of you noticed and had half a moment to brace yourself, which is why, Ton, you at the very least remain standing. Arias and Scophos, the two of you are blown off of your feet, knocked to the ground, sprawling about 10 feet away from where you were just standing, sort of forcing you all to close your eyes momentarily as the wave of energy washes over you. When you open your eyes, you are not in this same place. All of you, as you open your eyes, you see the clearing around you, the charred earth where this star landed, the crater. But you do not see the corpses of the hippogriffs. You do not see any of the dead, burned trees in the area. You are just standing on flat ground that stretches as far as you can see in every direction. What do you do?
I make sure all my companions are with me. And also, when the explosion happened, Ton on reflex, it wouldn't be a conscious decision on his part, it would just be his body acting on its own. He would have transformed back into his normal form,
Sure.
his true form, and, looks at himself, sees that he's, fur covered again, and then goes over to Scophos and Arrhaeus to help them up and just be like, well, I really hope that worked because, where are we?
Oh, her soul passed on.
Okay, it worked good.
Is it like color desaturated or like?
It's actually almost more saturated than you're used to. Everything's just slightly off-puttingly more vibrant.
Just everything around us.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And there's
I should
nothing
also
visible in the
specify
distance.
there's no sky. There's the ground you're standing on, stretching entirely flat as far as you can see.
Okay.
Above you, you don't see clouds, you don't see the blue sky, you don't see the sun, you just see black covering anything. There's no obvious source of light, yet all of you are able to see just fine with those saturated colors of the ground.
Is it
Crater is still there.
I'm sorry?
Crater is still there.
Crater is still there. Everything else
is
gone.
is it just the four of us? What's her name isn't here with us?
Cyrus is with you. Marasine is not here.
Yeah, okay. Marasine is not with us. Okay. So my Tetsubo, it was knocked out of my hand. Is it
Mhm.
still on the ground a few feet away?
It is gone.
Scoffo, there's no way that we ourselves could have been transported to the afterlife, correct? That wouldn't make any sense.
Honestly, I don't know what that explosion was.
Scophos,
Well,
you are alone right now.
Oh shit.
Your friends are here. Arrhaeus, Ton, Cyrus, but you hear no other voices.
Are they just like frozen in place, or?
No, you're able to see and interact with Ton and Arrhaeus as you've been doing. The voices, the other spirits with you,
Okay.
they're gone.
Now I
Can
get where
I-
you were driving on that.
Look, is there anything in the crater, or it looks normal?
Taking a few steps over to the crater as you get back on your feet, you look inside. In the depression in the center, wherever the star was landed, about the size of a human head, there is a glowing red spark. Just sort of slightly pulsing. Definitely emitting light. It is glowing, but it's not blinding you as you look upon it. You don't feel any warmth or any amount of heat emanating off of it. It's just kind of there.
it's just chilling in a skull.
Not in a skull, no. It's about the size of a human head.
Oh, I thought you said it was chilling in the human head.
No, that's just the size.
Okay, I go over and attempt to pick it up.
I'm trying to recall knowledge about where we are right now.
Yeah, go for it, Scoffos, before you let Ton do something crazy.
At least he didn't say eat it.
Well, I feel like the
Wrong
meta
campaign.
with Ton and Scaphos is Scaphos thinking about it, and he just goes and does it. And he's like, "Wait!"
That's the
Whatever happens, like the spell ending, because he's like, "Wake up!"
Oh boy.
Recall.
well. I mean, it worked, didn't it?
It didn't work.
Targeted, do it.
No, you're good there. Scoffos, you have no clue. You're pretty confident not the afterlife. The afterlife is not like this. But if that's the case, you've got no frame of reference for what's going on here.
This isn't the afterlife, but I can't feel any of the spirits for the first time in months.
As Ton reaches
Hey,
for
what are you
this,
doing? And it's too late.
as Ton reaches for it, he calls back. You know, it could be we're just inside our own heads. Picks it up.
Ton, as he says,
Yeah.
might be in our own head, Scoffos goes, wait, what are you doing? Ton touches the
Yes.
spark of red light and collapses.
Oh yeah, baby,
Wow.
let's go!
Reyes and Scoffos, the two of you see Ton reaches out, both hands to like pick it up. It's kind of like a ball almost. And as his hands touch it, there is it's almost like an electrical current sparks out into the palms of his hands, and Ton just drops like a sack of potatoes to the ground. And the spark shrinks slightly.
Ton wakes back up. Let me have another one.
No, you're out, my boy.
I figured. Ton's
We
just
just
done.
check for
Yeah.
a pulse.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast message on Ton
Yeah.
and be like, just like, can you hear me?
No response.
Okay.
No. This is Ton's response. You ready?
Ray, as you step forward, check for a pulse. There's a pulse. He's breathing.
Okay.
Actually,
That's good.
give me a medicine check. Not just going to give you the easy
Not
answer.
me. Not me.
This can be public.
Should have been Scaphos. Oh my god, he's dead. Scaphos, he's dead.
What?
No.
Takes
I will-
Ton's pulse. Scoffos is dead.
She
Oh no.
does-
I will
She
make
does
a
say like
medicine.
I can't feel anything. I don't know if he's okay.
Okay.
He's not dead, but I doubt I know what happened.
Yeah. Arrayus, as you go to check his pulse, and you just like fully put your fingers on the wrong part of his neck. You don't feel any pulse. Scoffos, you go to feel for a pulse, seeing that Arrayus is just absolutely doing it wrong. There is no pulse. You see Ton's chest sort of rising and falling gently. He's breathing, but there's no pulse. His heart is not beating. And his breath is slowing down. Ton, can you give me a will save, please?
Yes.
Okay. The pair of you watch as Ton's body begins to fade.
Me and my dumb ideas.
Ton does weird things and it never ends well for people.
Yes.
It's about 5 seconds before he vanishes entirely, leaving just the trio of you with Cyrus there, technically.
I hope it's that he left whatever strange liminal space we're in and not something worse.
Yeah, hopefully he returned to where we came from.
Maybe you should touch the red spark.
See, I know that's what we're supposed to do, but I feel like seeing someone just like disappear, I don't know if I would want to do that.
Well, perhaps
Even though,
that's
yeah.
why you're here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anywhere else we can go or any other inhabitants where we are.
Are there any loose rocks at all?
There's a couple like loose pebbles in the crater. Yeah, absolutely.
I'll just pick a direction and throw it as far as I can. See if it hits anything.
You hear the sound of it like hitting the dirt a distance away.
Okay. Well, don't exactly know what to do here. I
Okay,
guess
I'll
recall
do-
knowledge on the spark.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say we can. Other than that, I will also try to do that.
Sure. Okay. Scoffos, you're looking at this and like it very clearly did something bad, right? Ton touched it, it shrunk, he collapsed, seemed to mostly die and then vanished. Nothing good from that. Probably not the best idea to touch it, you would think. Reyes, you look at it. It's not calling to you, but there is a sense of almost hunger that you begin to feel as you look at this. It's not hunger that you would feel in your stomach, but some other part of you that is empty and wishing for nourishment. Some new part of you, only recently broken open, that you have begun to feel. And as you look at this spark, something tells you it is the sustenance you are seeking.
I think he was right to touch it. I think I don't know, it feels fortuitous to me.
How so?
I just feel like I don't know. I feel like it can fulfill something. Don't worry, I'm sane. I haven't taken any of those flowers, but I think it'll be fine. And I'm just gonna go and kind of kneel down and reach for it.
Arias reaches for it, grabs at the sides of it, and in almost the exact way that Ton happened, it sort of sparks at her hands, shrinks a bit. It's a bit over larger than half the size it was originally. It's maybe like about 65% its original size. And Arias collapses to the ground with a heavier thud due to her larger size than Ton.
Check the pulse.
No pulse, breath fading.
They're both so bullheaded. Pun intended.
That's funny.
Now, what would Cyrus do?
Oh, that probably right after Ton. Let's be real.
Yeah. I think seeing Arias touch it, Cyrus will also touch it. And similarly, notably, more of it shrinks than it did for Arias or Ton. About half of what was remaining after Arias touched it.
Was Laura here with us?
No,
Okay.
Laura's not getting mythic power.
That'd be awesome if Laura did.
Maybe one day.
Unless he takes the dedicated, what is it?
Beast Lord.
Or a storied
Yeah.
companion.
Right. Maybe one day.
Laura's the true hero of the entire story.
I know, right?
Well, I don't want to sit here alone. Screw it. Did as well.
10 seconds of loneliness is all it takes to make Scophos make a stupid decision. Got it. Scophos, as the last one to touch it, the rest of the spark is absorbed into you. As each of you touched this and lost consciousness once more, collapsing to the ground, before your eyes opened, there was a series of visions you seem to see. Fragmented, cycling past at sort of this dizzying speed in your mind. You see this blighted landscape that you do not recognize but appears to be in ruins, with this immense figure of a woman towering hundreds of feet tall, kneeling and weeping over this landscape. Cycles as this same figure is now clashing with other figures the same size, larger and smaller as her. They're just silhouettes. You can't make out any details, but a blood red sky overhead with no stars or light in sight. You see as she's driven back by these hurricane winds out over the ocean away from the land. Another vision flashes, this gauntlet-clad hand, itself stories tall, drives a blade through her chest as she clutches at the wound and sinks under the ocean. The vision goes black. In the darkness, you see a red spark appear. The same spark you touched. Silhouetted in front of it, a humanoid figure. Snakes for hair, but backlit by this light, impossible to tell any other descriptions of them. A feeling of relief surges through you at this, as well as urgency and demand before it fades. Ton, you are the first to open your eyes as you are sort of eyes shoot back open. You are still standing miraculously by the edge of the crater where the mock fight had ended. You see your Tetsubo on the ground a couple feet of the way, and Marisine a bit further away. She was a distance away from the whole performance, having been the one to perform the musical accompaniment. Almost just now beginning to react. And, like, shock suffused her face as she, is now just at this moment taking a long stride towards Scophos, Arias, and Cyrus, who are still on the ground from where the blast knocked them over.
Okay, I go and retrieve my trusted weapon, heft it over my shoulder, and make my way over to my companions. Do I
Yeah.
feel any different that I can tell, or
We'll get to that.
okay?
Because it's only a moment, because you go to grab your Tetsubo before anything else. Arias and then Scophos, the two of you, similarly seeing these things almost immediately after, open your own eyes, lying on the ground, not where you touched the spark. Sort of getting your bearings back as you see Marisine rush over to you, seemingly worry etched on her face. Reyes.
We need to will save as well? Or...
No.
Okay.
That was to basically see if Ton would manage to keep his body there for a period of time, or if it would just peace out.
Ah, okay.
It pieced out.
Yeah. It also had to do with the fact that, if I recall correctly, he and Arias were the two who attempted to steal mythic power from the hippogriffs whilst fighting them. I don't believe Scophos or Cyrus did. And that had some bearing on this. As Arias, you wake up, and that sensation of needing satiety, I don't actually think that's how that's pronounced, but whatever.
Satiation.
Satiation, thank you. And feeling like that spark would fill it. Seems it was correct. You wake up feeling full. Scophos, you wake up, and the first thing you feel, being much more in tune to these things because of, quite frankly, the spirits you have been speaking with for months residing in you, you feel a new presence within yourself, not separate from you, not bound to you, but as if it's almost as if you have a new limb that you instinctively know how to operate. But Marisine reaches you as Ton goes and retrieves his Tetsubo. Are you all okay? What just happened? You all just got thrown backwards. Except for Ton, he seems fine.
Very good question. Did you see anything? Did you see what we saw? The orb?
Scophos, what were you about to say?
I wasn't.
Okay. Because she sort of focused on the people who collapsed on the ground. So she looks up at you, surprised, Ton. You're a couple feet away, just grabbing your weapon right now. Saw something? No, I just... The three of you just went flying.
How long?
I
Were
mean,
we
at
gone?
this point, seconds?
I told you
We
we
had
were in our heads.
It seems like we just all had a strange vision.
Oh,
that we were here and there was a red spark in the crater and
We touched it,
which thing
and
are reminding me?
I promptly passed out, so I don't remember any. Jericho, the vision of the gauntleted hand with the sword. Ton didn't see any of that, right?
No, you
'Cause he
saw
was
those
out.
fragmented
Okay.
visions. You saw as well. Those
Okay.
were visions you saw after touching the red spark.
Titanic figures fighting.
Yeah, Ton will recount those fragments that he saw to her. And, yeah, bit of a long shot here, but does that make any sense to you whatsoever?
She looks more and more bewildered as you continue to describe it.
Yeah, I figured.
Something's different. I feel
Ton.
some sort of new power.
How so? Feeling new things all of a sudden is not a good sign, you recognize, yes?
Indeed.
Ton begins to use one of the meditative exercises he was trained in to control his rage, to basically find his inner chi, to see if it's been messed with. I think they used the word chi in Tian Sha.
Well, as you guys begin to familiarize yourselves with these new senses, we're going to take a quick break, and I would like you to both level up and gain your mythic calling. I will see you all in a few minutes, and of course, just hit back when you are done with your level up and everything, so. Alrighty, welcome back. So, characters are officially level 3! Woohoo! It's going to be harder for me to kill you now. But with that, you guys have your new mythic abilities, your callings, and a second level feat to go alongside it. Along with all your level 3 stuff, good long level up process there. Some of us got more magic, more class, not class feats, but general feats, expert proficiency, all that jazz. But I figure it's probably good to actually go over what mythic rules entails so everyone is on the same page here. So most important thing, we are no longer using hero points. Those are now your mythic points. So you'll have seen on like your calling and the feat you chose at second level, it'll say you can expend a mythic point to roll at mythic proficiency. You'll start every session with 3 mythic points, and that's your maximum. It's the same with hero points. But there are ways to get them back as the session goes on, so they can actually be spent slightly more liberally than your hero points did with some weird restrictions. Mythic proficiency is one step above legendary. So mythic proficiency lets you roll with d20 plus 10 plus your ability modifier. So especially at like lower levels, your mythic proficiency rolls are gonna look a little gross compared to what your regular rolls are gonna look like, which is fun because it's you tapping into that mythic power that your body has been restructured to contain, to go above mortal limits to accomplish something. That's mythic proficiency, nice and simple. Each of you will see you have a free action on your character sheet now as a mythic character called Rewrite Fate. That is the specific ability to utilize your mythic points to re-roll, aside from your calling and second level feat that lets you actually just roll at mythic proficiency. Rewrite Fate is basically how you would use a hero point to re-roll. With this, you roll a skill check or a saving throw, and I love how it's worded. If you don't like the result, you can spend a mythic point to re-roll it with mythic proficiency. Do note, you cannot roll strikes, spell attacks with that. You do need these specific feats that allow you to roll at mythic proficiency for those, which will come at higher level. So we've got a weird kind of slight downgrade at this point where your mythic points aren't going to be eligible for re-rolling your attack rolls in combat like you were able to with hero points. So do keep that in mind here as we move forward. To regain mythic points mid-session, it is certainly possible. If you complete a mythic deed, which will typically be very hard challenges that require the use of your mythic resources to accomplish. If you manage to complete these deeds, that will restore an immediate 3 mythic points to everyone in the party. These will be typically some sort of large group challenge, and we'll get into that when one comes up. It'll be a hot minute, though, before that happens. When you fight enemies like the hippogriffs in the future that themselves are mythic enemies, when one dies, whoever got the killing blow will regain 2 mythic points, and everyone else in the party will regain 1 mythic point at that point. Not every enemy you fight is going to be a mythic enemy. In fact, they're not even going to be super, super common to come across. So it's just something to keep in mind when you come across them. They'll typically be the harder fights. A lot of times the boss encounters will be mythic enemies, but not always, and you will get mythic points back as you kill them. And if you perform deeds particularly in line with your calling that you have chosen, that will also typically restore 1 mythic point to your pool. We'll get into some examples of that in the next chapter of this story that will give you the opportunity to explore your new powers a bit more in depth. So I will point those out when those sorts of situations come up and are taken advantage of for yourselves. The last important thing to go over with mythic points is death for your characters. Oh boy! It's a lot harder to kill you now that you are mythic. Normally, if you reach dying 4 or dying 5, if you have Die Hard, I don't think any of you do right now though, you die. Being mythic, reaching dying 4 doesn't actually kill you. You'll just immediately stabilize at 0 hit points, and your doomed value will increase by 1. Doomed, of course, reducing the maximum number you die at. So you would then die again at dying 3, which, if you reach that point, would stabilize you, and you'd go to doomed 2. You will not permanently die until your doomed value reaches 4, basically. And doomed goes down by 1 every time you take a long rest. So you're a lot harder to kill, but I will be honest with you guys, I'm also going to be more ruthless now. I will not necessarily hesitate to attack already downed characters moving forward, because we are well aware that reaching dying 4 or 5 is not going to be just immediate death for your character. So do keep that in mind. I'm going to be a bit more brutal with some of my choices in combat, but you guys are a lot harder to permanently kill. Any questions? Any comments on all that? Anything people need clarification on? Or have particularly strong opinions about?
2 questions. When it comes to defeating an opponent, if Scophos casts a spell and it's doing periodic, what's it called? Persistent damage, and it dies to the persistent damage, that counts as Scophos' kill, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it is whoever basically, whose attack, spell, or effect defeated the enemy regains 2 and everyone else gets 1. The only time everyone would only gain 1 is if it died to, like, a hazard.
Okay. Second question. For Rewrite Fate, that does not work with secret checks, correct?
Correct. I mean, granted, if you don't like the vibe of your role, there's nothing saying you can't, but like you don't know the result, but you can still go, that didn't feel like a good roll. I'm gonna, or I specifically want to roll that with Mythic proficiency. I will probably allow that. If you guys do it a lot, I may pull back on it, but for now, you guys are welcome to.
Okay.
I know you have things like those of you who took Ears Who Hear the Truth that allows you to specifically sense motive at Mythic, which is a blind check. But this is, a reroll, so I'll allow it for now, and if I change my mind, then I'll stop allowing it.
Okay.
I forget. Spellcasters have to wait till a long rest, or not a long rest, but a full night's sleep to get all their spells when they level up, right?
I give you whatever your new one is. Any you've expended are still expended until you take a long rest.
Okay.
So, whatever new ones you've gotten, you do auto gain here.
Yeah, I don't think the automation.
No. Foundry does not
Works,
automate that
or-
stuff.
It does for the
Yeah.
apparitions, actually, but
Huh.
because I have to do a long rest, I think, to get the automation
Okay.
to work.
Well,
level
thankfully,
2,
there's
but it's
not really much else that needs to be done today, especially since I imagine most of you would like to rest after your experiences. There's still a number of you who are injured to varying degrees, and it is getting later in the day. Here.
Jericho, before we flip maps, I attempted to try to shove Cyrus, and when I pull up the menu from the macro, it doesn't give me the option to do it with Mythic proficiency.
Correct. I've given you a toggle on your character sheets in the action tab now. That will change it. Foundry's automation for Mythic kinda sucks a little bit. So, you'll have to toggle that on and then go roll the checks you want to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel
so
free to do
that's
any
that
testing
little-
you'd like to do here. But that was the solution I had to come up with for my other Mythic game. I may have missed something somewhere. Like, Rewrite Fate doesn't even have rule elements in it to allow this, so it's a little goofy, whoever made the Foundry module.
It doesn't seem to count perception as a...
Good catch, because that's its own thing, technically. It's not counted as a skill check in Foundry's code, so I have to add that in manually to it. I'll do that later.
Okay.
Good catch. Thank you.
Yeah, it also doesn't do it for initiative.
That's because
All right, those are the only questions I have at the
Well, that's
current
also, I
moment
think
about
your perception is
Mythic.
set as in perception. If you were to do it as, let's say, occultism real quick, it would boost it.
Okay.
All right. Ugh. We love Foundry. Doing things manually since whenever I fucking started with this system.
Spaghetti code.
Yeah,
Don't you
truly.
love it?
No, I don't. It hurts my soul every time. To anyone still watching, 1, why, 2, hi, and 3, the more you get into Foundry, the more it hurts you, so be warned.
still the best thing on the market.
I'm not
Better
arguing with that.
Better than Roll20.
Better than Fantasy Grounds.
I've never used Fantasy Grounds. What's wrong with it?
We don't need to get into that right now. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, but Foundry's just generally better.
Okay.
Better community support, at the very least.
Okay.
But. Anything else you guys would like to do here? Sophrasta's spirit has been put to rest. You have finished carving up the hippogriff corpses and chucked their parts into your bags. You're getting used to a strange new sensation as your body changes to accommodate this new sense, this new power that seems to have been injected into your body. Ton and Araeus perhaps having a slightly easier time as you came to consciousness, as you had already broken that organ open when you absorbed power from the hippogriffs. Scophos, slightly less rough adaptation as well, because you've got all the spirits inside of you that have at least reached this barrier. A few of them have to some extent, but you are the first among them to actually break it open. Cyrus isn't here. She's the one absolutely having the roughest time, though. Due to having not broken open that organ with the hippogriffs and having no real assistance. It's think like sandpaper inside your body rubbing on your organs, I think is the way I can describe what this feels like. Yeah, it's not particularly pleasant. Mythic power destroyed your body and actively killed you for a moment before then brought you back to life. All of you are alive thanks to mythic power right now. So technically, you all meet the requirements for the numb to death feat, hilariously.
So we've actually died.
Yes, you technically died for about a millisecond.
Oh my god, Pharasma must hate all mythic people.
Like, your soul didn't even have the chance to leave your body yet.
Oh, okay.
It was
It's like resuscitation or something.
yes. Yeah. The mythic power entering your body killed you, destroyed your body from the inside, and then rebuilt it. And that is what is keeping you alive now. Who needs heart and blood and functioning organs when you can have a funny, esoteric, unexplained power supporting your internal functions? That seems like cool beans to me. So, on that note, we shall head back.
Can you recap, like, real quickly what the visions we saw
Yeah.
after we received them?
Yeah, after
or
you touched the spark.
Like, mythic spark. Yeah.
It was primarily focused around this, like, immense woman, I suppose, like hundreds of feet tall. The first vision had her weeping over this blighted and desiccated landscape. The next vision had her clashing in battle with the silhouettes of other figures under a blood-red sky. There's a vision of her being driven back out over the ocean by hurricane winds. A gauntlet-clad hand driving a blade through her chest. Her sinking below the waves. And then sort of everything went black, and there was that spark in the darkness, the silhouette of a humanoid figure with snakes for hair, and the feelings of relief, urgency, and demand sort of suffusing that vision.
Okay. Okay.
Speaking of which, I will go ahead and mention you guys have reconnoitered the crater now. Yippee! Because that's what's important. Bookkeeping.
So we still need to go to Sophrasta's shrine and sink the undead back into the pit that he crawled out of. Send him to the Lady of Graves domain. And then that should be it. At least the important stuff. But yeah, let's head back to the beach camp and see if everyone's still pissed off at each other.
Yeah.
They all been pinching and thieving.
I wonder if Iacorus knows that So Fristo moved on.
He did promise you an additional reward if you helped put Clios the undead to rest, so maybe you can go chat with him after that's taken care of.
Yeah.
Right.
Give him the good news
Sure.
after we deal with that.
But as you guys make your way back to the beach and the camp tonight, everyone go ahead and give me that a general sense motive again, I suppose, as you approach, if you are interested in trying to gauge the camp's atmosphere. And for two of you, if you would like to use a mythic point on this, I believe you may do so.
Oh yes, because I suck at wisdom
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah, I think just for story purposes, like it would just
Uh,
activate.
Yeah.
Jericho,
So we
do
should
you
have
want
three
us
now.
to add the bonus, or will you just know to add?
Just
+6
subtract the
to it?
mythic point and tell me that's what you're doing.
Okay, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
It's motive. So it's like a +8 to this roll.
If you're trained, it's +8.
Yeah,
If you're
it's
expert,
+8.
it's +6.
Okay.
Yeah, I think for me it's +6. Is it?
+6 for you.
My
You're expert.
Perception, yeah,
Yep.
I don't even know.
You can
I
just
don't think
roll.
so
I know
because
what
I'm
it
not
is.
I'm not a martial class, so
Yeah.
I don't think I.
You are only trained, so you get a +8 on yours. Which means, for reference, probably sensibly, Arrayus, even though you rolled a natural 17 on the die, you got the lowest total perception check.
Yeah.
Ton and Scophos, I do think, as Scophos said, this is very fitting. Getting used to the new power as you approach. I think it's perhaps a bit more of a conscious choice for you, Scophos, as you can feel that power in you a bit more clearly. Ton, it's almost unintentional, but you focus on the camp ahead, sort of sharpening your ears to listen. And all of a sudden, the sound becomes clearer than you've ever heard it before. You can hear the breeze rustling as individual grains of sand are cast across the beach as the waves lap and pull back, the chatting, the crackling of the fire, and the embers popping outwards, the flapping of tents in the breeze as well. It is more noise than you've ever processed before, to the point of being overstimulating, and yet you process it as if it is the most natural thing in the world. Mentally, you know it should be overstimulating. You should be hearing this, and it should almost be causing pain with how in-depth it is, and yet you feel perfectly normal. It's completely natural to do such a thing. And indeed, around camp, it's as if yesterday didn't happen. You hear the chatter and the laughter and the generally jovial voices of people discussing their finds from the day. You don't hear any traces of that almost condescension and tension between the different exploration groups. You can almost tell the palpable sort of relief etched into the voices of the crew of the Tide Hunter.
Okay. Real quick, I think this is something that the group would have discussed as we're trekking back. Do we want to, tell everybody, hey, we found the crater. There were these freaking bitchin' hippogriffs there. We killed them. The crater was empty. Someone came and took whatever was there, but we've dealt with the problem on the island. Do we want to, tell them all, hey, we did it? Or do we want to still hold that close to ourselves until we deal with the undead problem?
I don't think we should tell them about the visions.
Well, no, not the visions, but we found the crater. We basically tell them we found the crater. It was being guarded by 2 hippogriffs that were just enraged and were attacking everything in the area. We dealt with the hippogriffs, we killed them. The crater was empty, so whatever was there, someone took it, or
For
something.
reference, you guys have already told them about the general location of the crater and the hippogriffs there after Yokoris warned you guys about it. So they know there's the
Okay.
crater, and they know you guys are exploring up in that area. And the entire goal of this expedition was to come check out the fallen star.
Okay, so tell them we dealt with the hippogriffs. The star is not there. Something took it before we got there.
That's fine.
Jericho.
Say we still have
Okay.
some other stuff to do on the island, right?
Okay. Jericho, I don't know if you already said this and I just missed it like an idiot, but the mist that was around where the war shard fell, is that mist gone now?
That, like, reddish mist,
Uh-huh.
after you guys woke up, it was gone.
Okay.
I think you got a somewhat of an idea of where it might be.
Yeah, just a little bit. Okay, so we tell them we dealt with the hippogriffs, they're gone. The star, something took it from the crater before we got there. We don't know for sure what. Do we tell them about Sophrasta, how we put her lingering spirit to rest? I mean, we gotta start making our own legends.
Guess so. And she told us that
Yeah,
it was
Parasites
a
with us,
Steno
right?
man.
Yeah, Marisine's still with you guys. After making sure you
So
guys
who
were
knows,
okay, she's
maybe-
been kind of quiet.
Also,
Maybe
on the
someone
way,
else saw the Steno man or something. I don't know. Probably not, but we can always mention it.
okay. So I guess should we be very open with what we know? Are we going to keep anything to ourselves? Is a better way to ask this.
Maybe the weird visions and the powers, probably.
Okay, weird visions. Jericho.
Mhm.
I mean, Aureus and Scoffos would know this a hell of a lot better than Ton, but the hero gods, when they would walk amongst, the common people, was it like, was there any manifestations that it was noticeable that they were hero gods, or was it all just word of mouth? This person is a hero god, and that's how people knew, or was like, they glowed, or without doing something actively to prove it?
I mean, none of you guys have met a hero god yourself. Anyone who wants to make a recall knowledge on this certainly may. To see what they know about that sort of thing.
I'll do that.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. See if I picked up anything from like a rumor or something.
Scoffos with the lore accurate nat 20s, as per usual.
Yeah.
Helps when you've got voices in your head that can talk to you about that sort of thing.
Voices in my head keep on telling me to pray.
Scoffos, you would know far more as fact than fiction compared to what Aureus and Ton know. Typically, unless a hero god actively shows it, there is no outward bearing of their power. Cyclopses would have an easier time actively seeing it because they see the threads of fate, and they would see them different around people who have become hero gods. But the common person, if a hero god is doing the barest minimum to hide their power, which doesn't really take any effort on their part, the common person would not know the difference.
Okay, it's like when they lift a wagon or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they actually do something befitting the status of someone who has broken past mortality, a normal person might know it. And someone, a fully fledged hero god, let's be fair, you guys have mythic power now. It's not necessarily putting you on the same standing as the actual hero gods as of yet. A fully fledged hero god would be able to release their power in sort of a controlled way too, as like a sign of authority and power.
Yeah, and I don't know if Scaphos even thinks like we're hero gods at this point. He's just like, what the hell did that thing do to us?
You ever get hit by a burst of energy and wake up feeling a new organ? That's
No.
some weird shit.
Are you just calling it a new organ, or in canon, is it a new organ?
Uh, it's almost like a new sense, to be more specific.
That makes sense.
It's very unclear in like Pathfinder book canon of what it is like for people given mythic power, so you can kind of leave it up to yourself how you describe it. For now, I am choosing to describe it towards you as this sort of burgeoning new sensation that you have. You're not entirely sure how to control. It's just kind of coming naturally as you do things.
Okay.
Was there any visual effect when we were using it? To
No.
sense motive?
Not to sense motive. It was truly for yourself, just your hearing sharpened to an unprecedented level.
Okay. So, Scoffos, keep the visions to ourselves, and then keep our newfound powers to ourselves as well?
Yeah, I think until we know more about them.
Okay. Arias, are you good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm never going to pronounce this lady's name correctly, so I just turn to her as we're having this discussion. And, since she's
Marosine?
been, I can't say her name right, Jericho. I keep wanting to say Miro.
Marrow? Fine.
Marosine.
There you go.
I turned to Marosine. I mean, I know how we seem to be feeling about this whole thing, but how are you feeling? How are you doing now that your beloved has been laid to rest?
Sorry. What were you saying?
Just asking how you're doing after everything.
I'll live.
Okay.
Kind of like shrugs. You can see a forced smile on her face.
Okay, so she just needs time to process. All right. So now that we had that discussion on our march back to camp, we get there. We've got our story straight of what we're going to tell everybody. Pawn looks around, spots Dikaios, walks over to him. So, I see everybody's in much better spirits today.
Hey, yeah. How you doing? Good exploration?
Oh, do we have a story for you? And I'm pretty sure everybody's going to want to hear it.
Well, sit the fuck down. What are you waiting for?
Ton just sits right down wherever he is.
You just say
Is
you've
that right
got a
on the sand?
story.
And then Ton will proceed to tell the story of all the shittery we just got up to, minus the stuff we agreed to keep to ourselves for now. I don't think I need a roll for that, or do I?
No.
Okay.
Scaphos, anything you would like to add in?
I think he's just deep in thought. Kind of half listening to what the story.
Sure.
Yeah, not much in particular. I mean, yeah. Our
Okay.
success against the hippogriffs was definitely due to our battle prowess and not the hippogriffs being very unlucky. So
Of course. Of course.
you'll stress that.
So the utmost important, we are well aware, it was our skill. not the hippogriff rolling dice
We defeated
really
them fair and
pathetically.
square. Mm-hmm.
They probably
Ugh.
couldn't see through the red cloud around them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
it
what
was
it
red mist
was.
clouding their eyes.
Yeah. The boiling mythic blood.
It was really a debuff, if you think about it.
Yeah, there you go.
Truly, the one like mythic action they had to was not going to come up at all with your guys' party composition. It was to benefit
Oh.
them if they got like grappled or movement speed penalties. And I was like,
I
yeah,
mean-
this party's not going to do that.
Well, I mean, I've got my Tetsubo, which is a two-handed weapon. Which, now that I think about it, hold on a minute.
I mean,
While you're doing that.
Well,
if
actually,
they
don't
had
hold
stayed
on.
high up in the air, I had nothing ranged, so I was.
Yeah,
gonna
I
be kinda
could have been a
screwed.
menace. I try not to
But
be that
you
rude.
were also partially like, if no one is ranged, that's just too mean.
Right. They also like their flyby attack forced them to move and attack, but yes, they absolutely could have been like going up into the air and staying out of your guys' reach and just dive bombing you, and basically been a near impossible fight. But I really try, and unless you guys, I try to tailor the fights to match what you guys can accomplish. You guys spend, or at least Tan spends a large chunk of the evening regaling the rest of the expedition groups with the tales of your exploits in fighting off the hippogriffs and laying them low, as well as the knowledge that the crater was empty. There were footsteps. Someone had absconded with the star soon after it fell. And of course, you met the ghost of a hero god, who this island used to be the center of worship of, and helped her find peace and move on to the afterlife, which is pretty goddamn impressive when you think about it. Of course, some people definitely are more inclined to believe than others. Dikaios is pretty much wholeheartedly going to believe whatever you guys tell him at this point, with the fact that you saved his life and the lives of his friends. He just trusts you. But the evening passes in general peace. Otherwise, are there any other questions or conversations people would like to have, things they'd like to do before you head off to sleep for the night?
I know my mythic sense allowed me to hear the underlying that everyone was back to their, normal camaraderie selves, but since he's experiencing it for the first time, Ton is still going to go to each individual group, even if they weren't there for hearing his story. He's going to go to them. Hey, how you doing? What'd you guys do while we were gone? Is everything, up and up? Do you need anything?
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Go ahead and give me a, let's say, gather information check here. I think is perfect for this.
Okay. Gather. Where is it? EFG. Is that just a recall knowledge?
No, it's diplomacy. It's under the exploration tab.
Okay. Gather. Hey, I have a +5.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't do well. I rolled natural 1, didn't I?
No.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Everyone seems generally fine, as if yesterday didn't happen. Notably, however, you are able to pick up that it's not like none of them remember yesterday. They all very clearly remember getting into arguments and being annoyed with one another, but they don't seem to think there is anything unnatural about it, just disagreements that got a little heated in the moment, and everyone cooled off overnight, and today's a lot better.
So they don't recognize the just sheer abruptness of it. That fact just seems to go over their head.
Yeah. To them, it seems like
Okay.
a normal disagreement. Things got a little heated, and, after going to sleep and then having a new day where they were exploring on their own, people had cooled off enough that calm heads prevailed, and everyone was back to enjoying themselves, and there were some apologies had for getting too heated. No one's, like, lingering upset with one another.
Okay. All right. Well, then, once that's been taken care of and everyone begins to settle down for the night, Ton will take first watch.
One
I assume we're all
question
at
from
full health.
Yeah, you guys would have taken some time to heal, I imagine, and can heal yourselves to full.
Sorry, Aaron. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. When Tom was telling the story, I was just curious, like, if there was like the Steno Man thing, if anyone else had seen anyone like that throughout
No.
their exploration of the island. Probably
No,
not.
very
But
specifically, everyone, like, there's absolutely some people that, like, when you mention a steno before you get to man, you just say steno, and people immediately look over at Vicloya. But then the moment you say steno man, they're like, oh, never mind. And she's like, hey, whoa, you can't just hear the word steno and assume the one steno you know is the one being
she
talked
took me.
about. Just because we're not particularly common doesn't mean you can judge us. Bunch of like, sorry. Didn't mean to, just natural.
Because how much time was there between when we saw the meteor fall and when we left for Euphrae? Like a couple days or something?
It was over a day.
Or was it? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
it basically fell that night. There was a day of meetings between the Philosopher's Council and the Drassicons, and that evening, what's her name? Terpsime asked you guys, hey, will you go on this expedition to go check it out? And you left the following morning. So it was about 32 hours after it fell and you left, closer to 44 hours between it falling, you guys arriving at Euphrae.
Okay.
And then, of course, it's been a week plus since then. It's actually been
Tomorrow we
right
kill
about
an
a week,
undead.
yeah.
Yeah. Tomorrow we smash an undead. Back
Tomorrow
to the
you kill an
pavement from which it
undead,
came.
yes.
Well, Sophriste seemed to have forgiveness for him in her heart, so
Well, I don't blame her, all things considered.
she said he deserved to rest too. So maybe we don't do it with anger, but gotta go.
Definitely
But,
gotta go.
at least moderate amounts of prejudice should be fine, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not extreme prejudice, but, gotta have some.
I'll take second watch, I
Sure.
suppose.
Before you head to sleep for the night, Merisine is going to head over to you, Scophos. Thank you.
You're
Sure.
very welcome. We were happy to help.
The whole point of me going to sleep was to wait for those who could save her, but I will admit that even I did not believe necessarily that you would be capable of it. Simply the bounds of mortality, but proven me wrong. And while you seem to have had some experience following it, and I'm not an expert in that, I have my own guesses, and I think you probably do as well. But still, thank you, truly.
Of course.
Um,
Did it's Sofreste, right?
yeah, Sofresta.
Sofresta. Did she ever describe what it felt like to be a hero god?
On occasion, she simply described the feeling of power and a connection to, for her specifically, the creatures around her and some of nature itself, but she felt that she could both understand and communicate with animals after her ascension. A natural way that was... She could only speak one language before she ascended. Very little known tidbit, especially these days. But, she described it as just having a feeling that she could communicate with other animals, and she tried, it worked.
You ever describe any physical discomfort?
Not when it came to her power, no.
Okay.
I'm not sure how aware you are of what the infusion of power actually does to a person, but the Cyclopses don't say a lot. Sophrasta was very clear on the fact that she should have died. The arrowhead that got caught in her side was a fatal wound when she took it, but after killing the Chimera, the power that infused her both healed the wound and didn't at the same time. After all, it left a weakness that allowed her to be killed again later on. It did cause her to, I don't know, break fate, as she would describe it. She should have died, and the power she was given prevented that. So. I don't know exactly what you're going through right now, but I hope the best for you.
As we do for you. What are your plans now?
Well,
You're certainly free to leave with us when we do.
I think it's for the best that I leave this island behind. Sophrasta has passed on, and I should push forward as well. I have quite a bit of life ahead of me, I should think, so I don't want to waste it wallowing away. She wouldn't want that for me. So I imagine if you'll have me, I'll head back to Bailax with you, and from there we'll see how things go. I don't really have any plans as of yet.
Well, if anything, I'm sure the world would, or all of Iblydos would love to hear stories of her, because she's mostly forgotten.
That's not the worst idea at all. Speaking of leaving the past behind, though, she'll pull out the lyre that she has. I think I'd like you all to have this. You're the ones to put her to rest. I think you are more deserving of it than I am.
Not sure that's completely necessary. Is it magical?
Much of the magic it had has faded, but it does still have some minor enchantments on it.
Well, it's rude to say no to a gift in Iblydos, right?
Yeah, generally.
So for now, I will take it from her
Alright.
and thank her for it.
Mechanically, it operates just right now as a lesser maestro's instrument. So it can be used, gives a bonus to performance checks, and can be used to cast charm once per day.
That's pretty
Even
nice.
if you yourself are not a spellcaster.
Seems pretty
Hilariously.
good
Sorry, go ahead.
seems pretty good for our Minotaur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, hilariously, it's only a manipulate action. It's not even concentrate. So technically, it could be activated by Ton while raging, which is really funny.
Yeah, Raging
Right,
Barbarian cast a
he's a liar.
charm. Let's go.
Real barbarian hours over here.
I know, right?
I just see Ton like throwing the Tetsubo high up in the air and being like, no, 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 no.
Just
Catch
shredding it.
And then catch
On
the
the
Tetsubo
lair.
and be like, ah.
Amazing. All right. Well, as this lyre is handed over to you and eventually everyone finds sleep, some of you choosing to take watches again, even though you've taken them a couple times on this trip, just to make sure nothing else funny happens, and come to consciousness the next morning. Please feel free to take your long rests. Ton, heal up to full.
Okay. Real quick, does the party mind if I use some of our parts to make a second weapon? Not a +1 weapon, just a base version of one. Nope. Okay.
No problem with that.
What you making?
I would like to make let me make sure the part I want to use is actually able to do this. Yep, I would like to make a hippogriff axe. It's just a hippogriff battle axe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. It's just 1 gold worth of parts.
Yep.
Okay.
Feel free to make that. Dintonian really wants to be your friend today, Scoffos. As you guys come to consciousness, though, mythic power flooding through your bodies in ways you don't quite understand. You have an undead to destroy and Bailax to get back to. However, that is going to be all for tonight. So, thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed.
Yeah.
Next time we will get to enjoy our 3rd level prowess and mythic power against a undead who's really not ready for what's coming.
Oh.
Is not prepared for what's about to come bust down their door. Let me tell you.
One of the ancient battle spells is enlarge.
Oh boy. They're really not prepared.
Enlarge runic weapon. Have fun.
Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed. Good to be back playing. Glad to have you guys here, and I will see you in 2026. Oh boy!
Bye, everybody.
Oh, see you
Bye.
guys next year.
You guys.
You shut up right now.